In 2019, German philosopher Gabriel came to Japan and warned that Japan is immersed only in the desire and satisfaction of the ego, and the Japanese who cannot suppress the maliciousness toward others, such consumer economic bias and childish bullying society. Warned that it would soon be unsustainable. The following year, 2021, a new corona pandemic occurred. In addition, the 2022 Ukrainian war broke out. Many of us Japanese have now lost their axes and are drifting into the dark sea of turmoil. Let's go see the hydrangea Iwagarami of Tokeiji Temple, to Osho's turbulent life. That's right. Let's go see the hydrangea Iwagarami of Tokeiji Temple. Let's look at the pure white hydrangea Iwagarami and imagine the white snow country after passing through the long tunnel of confusion. Imagine the white world in your head. Climbing hydrangea Iwagarami is a climbing tree of the Hydrangeaceae family. Roots are taken out from the trunk and branches, and they crawl up while adhering to and entwining rocks. The hydrangea Iwagarami of Tokeiji crawls up from a thick gray trunk and extends from the back of the main hall to the back of Suijitsudo in the south, and the top covers the cliff of the back mountain where the Matsujeiaka Library, which is related to Suzuki Daisetsu Osho, is located. I am. From the entrance of Matsujeiaka Bunko in the south of Matsuoka Hozo, Kao, you can see the southern end. In fact, because of the obvious danger of crowding tourists in the corona pandemic, Tokeiji abandoned the tourist temples that are profitable for temple management and turned them into pure religious facilities. Today, Tokeiji is a place where nature, Buddha, and people are mixed and united, and the subject and object are inseparable, that is, the place of Zen in the primitive primordial world. The place of Zen in the primitive world of Zen, in which the subject and the object are not separated, was philosophically defined by Kitaro Nishida, a close friend of Daisetsu Osho, as a place of good as a pure experience. Good is hidden in human beings as potential, and we try to overcome the surplus of the subject and the object and take the other as ourselves and truly stand on the ground. It says that is important. This seems to be very difficult, but when we look at the white hydrangea Iwagarami and are impressed by its beauty and forget about ourselves, we say that we are in a good state of unseparated main customer. The question seems to be whether we can continue to rise, seeing others as ourselves, from the unseparated state of goodness. On the mountain behind the cliff where this beautiful hydrangea Iwagarami blooms, Daisetsu Osho established the Matsujeiaka Bunko Library and continued his research life. That was just like crazy. For his last 20 years, it continued to be transmitted to the world at the age of 41 in 1911. 5 years later, Alan, who was 1 year old, was adopted by the couple. Daisetsu was born in Kanazawa City, Ishikawa Prefecture in 1870 and learned English while working as an elementary school teacher. and he translated the manuscript of his lecture by Soyen Shaku into English in 1893. After working for a publishing company in Illinois, USA for 11 years from 1897, he became a professor at Gakushuin University in 1910, but changed to Otani University in 1921. In 1927, when his wife Beatrice underwent a major operation, he moved to Engakuji Tachuo Shodanen, and in 1945, with the cooperation of Tokeiji chief priests Zenjo Inu and Yakaki Ataka, he built the Matsujayaka Bunko Library on the mountain behind Tokeiji Temple and devoted himself to his research. At this time, he lost his best friend, Kitaro Nishida, who has been a child since he was a child, and he mourns. He died at the age of 96 in 1966. It seems that his essence was to be aware of the goodness of oneself and others, and to maintain the mind of thinking of others as oneself. In a world where underdeveloped countries and wealthy countries are competing for vaccines and killing civilians with missiles due to the corona, it is time to review Japanese philosophy. Daisetsu Osho and Kitaro Nishida, who can answer Professor Gabriel's question. I think there is. By the way, if you dive into the gate of Tokeiji Temple, first of all, let's visit the main temple, Shakyamuni Buddha. Shokazen Tokeiji is a temple of the Rinzai sect that was built by Kakuzanenai, daughter of Adachi Yoshikage, the wife of the 8th Regent Hojo Tokimune in Koan 8, 1285, and his son, Sadatoki 9th. So, it was a famous divorce court temple. Since the fifth nun was the princess of Emperor Go-Daigo, it became known as the Matsujayaka Gosho from this time, and the 20th Tenchu nun was the daughter of Toyotomi and was ordered by Ieyasu Tokugawa to go to Tokeiji Temple. The entry divorce court temple law has been established. In Edo comic haiku, Tokeiji was described as tied marriage at Izumo and unwound divorce at Kamakura. In the Edo period, there seemed to be many women who rushed in by relying on the Engiriji divorce temple law, and it seems that the temple territory was also a divorce court, Gosho government office, larger than Kenkoji. In modern times, it seems that the family divorce court where men rush in is full of women and their cheering squads who demand a lot of compensation and child support. There are some beautiful Buddha statue in Tokeiji, but especially Suijutsu Kannon leans against the rock and looks at the moon reflected on the surface of the water in a relaxed posture. It was popular from the Chinese Song dynasty in the Yuan Mongolian Empire era, but it is a precious Buddha that can only be seen around Kamakura in Japan. Tokeiji is a flower temple. Iwa tobacco is a star-shaped downward flower called a lovely heart flower, and Kate Hitomaro says, "I'm deeply in love with the white dew-weight of Yamagisa." The Hautuniac, which blooms next to the field of flower irises and east of the passage in front of the Hosokan Museum, is a rare white flower that blooms in 8 layers and is occasionally offered to the statue of Buddha. In spring Kamakura, Yulan magnolia blooms in each temple and shrine and in the town, but in Tokeiji, it boasts a stunning white color just to the right of the mountain gate. A casual daffodil transforms into a flower queen when the priest's wife is displayed in the tea room. The warmth of the bungo plum and the Buddha gold statue represents the faint warmth of the good of this world. Please come out to Tokeiji Temple, to the world of good, a faintly lit Zen. This is a microcosm that flushes your heart. And it is a flint of light that re-questions the world of confusion. The gate is always open. Thank you for watching.